Hi, welcome back to Integrated Science. I'm Miss Sparks. We are going to wrap this week up with looking at how a quiz looks in Canvas. This is where we would actually have taken all quizzes and tests if you were sitting in this classroom. We actually used Canvas for that previously anyway. So I just want to show you what that looks like, and then also use this tool to help get a better baseline of what maybe some of your knowledge is prior to coming into this class. So what is it that you know about science, or maybe what you remember? So I'm not really actually looking for like content material today. I'm really looking just some of the tools that we use throughout the entire year, which is going to be things that are going to help us with qualitative and quantitative. So measuring the metric system, just simple equations. Unfortunately, or fortunately, there is algebra in this class just a little bit, where we will be introducing different types of equations to help us solve to find data that is relevant for the topics that we are talking about. So today, though, we're going to look at what does a quiz look like. And I don't want you to freak out and go and be like, oh my gosh, I didn't study, or I don't want to take a quiz on the first week of school. Once again, I'm going to put this as just a completion, but I do want to see what you may remember just a little bit, maybe from 8th, 7th, and 6th grade science, or maybe even before that. So hopefully these are things that were covered just a little bit, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember those terms, but I don't remember how to use it, which is okay. I just want to see what kind of pace I need to go at in order to make us all prepared to really jump into the content and the standards. So once again, hopefully you can log into Canvas here. Hopefully you're getting used to my main page. And today we're going to, once again, you can look at calendar or week 1. I always feel that this is going to be your best bet to start here, so that you can go through and really look at those videos. So we're going to be here on Thursday. The video that I'm recording right now will be placed there. It's just one of those things. I created this first before the video so I could walk you through it, but I have to wait until the video is completely published to put it onto Canvas. So you're going to watch the video of me talking right now, and then when you're finished with that, you're actually going to take the quiz. So you can either access that quiz right here. I'm going to log you right in, or you can access it via here in your calendar, Baseline 2020 quiz. Now, I do have it locked until August 25th, so we can't actually look at it. So I'm going to, we can, I just need to log out of student view. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and hopefully, there we go. Pull up in just our main view here. So if you click on it on the 25th, it should look something more like this. Now this isn't, you're probably like, that doesn't look like a quiz to me. You're right, it doesn't. I'll show you what it looks like here, but this is just kind of that definitions of what is it asking you to do. So Baseline 2020 quiz, it's 5 questions. So once again, please just be patient with it. Try your best. I just want to see where you are. The directions say, please complete the following questions based on your knowledge from prior science classes. I would like to see how familiar you are with certain science terms and logic. You will have 1 attempt. Normally on quizzes, you would actually have 2 attempts, but since I just want to kind of tap in on your prior knowledge, I'm just giving you 1 attempt. So what you'll do is you'll click in here, and it's going to pull you up to something that looks like this. And then the questions are very similar to just any maybe online test or quiz that you've taken. You can see that these are all going to be multiple choice. You can scroll down and see them at any time. When we get into ones that are a little bit more challenging, sometimes I have students that will mark this one just so that they know that they need to go back and answer it, and it will be marked up there as well, saying, hey, little flag, you need to go back and answer question number 1. Or a lot of times I'll have students that will work through the whole quiz and then maybe contact me and say, I have a question on number 1, can you help me? And that would be a good time to do during my office hours. Wait for quizzes if you think that you might have a lot of questions, so that you don't hit submit and then there's no way to getting that back and seeing a couple of things. Now, I will warn you, Canvas does allow me to see when you've moved away from the quiz at whatever time you are taking it, meaning that if you're like, I don't know what this means, let me go to Google and type in millimeters or whatever it may be that you're trying to do. It's going to show me that you have moved away from this test, and that normally flags me as, why are they doing that? So be very careful, because we don't want to get into a conversation that says that I have to ask, why is it that after every question you have moved away from this tool? And it will tell me like, oh, they went to online, or it will tell me that they moved into a Word document, whatever it may be. So just be very cautious of what you are doing when taking a quiz. They're all called quizzes in Canvas, but sometimes they clearly are a test. This one is just that, but the whole function is called a quiz. So you will answer all the questions, and then when you're done, you just hit submit. And once you hit submit, there's no turning back. I will take what it is and go from there. Now, once again, most of the times you will have 2 attempts versus 1, and that makes a big difference on what I can help you with. But once you hit submit, it's hard for me to go back and allow you to retake it without looking at some critical things. So just always keep that in mind. Taking tests and quizzes in here are 70% of your grade for integrated, and 30% is all the assignments and everything that we do throughout the week. But the tests and quizzes are weighted heavily because we want to see how you're learning, what you're learning. Are you retaining this information as we move from one to the next? Integrated Science is one of those classes that builds on the things that we learn at the beginning of the term will carry on to the end of the term. If you ask any of the upperclassmen, especially that have had me as a teacher, they'll be like, yeah, you use the speed equation pretty much all year long. Luckily, it's really simple, but it is an equation that we will use continuously over and over. And same with metric conversions, because we'll start to look at things that are really, really small, such as the nucleus of an atom and the electrons orbiting around. And then we will look at things that are really, really large, as the distance from the Earth to the Sun, or the distance from the Earth to our next galaxy, Andromeda. So there's a lot of ways that we will use the different types of tools throughout, and they once again kind of build. So once again, this was just a tutorial on how to look at quizzes. Once again, same as anything on calendar, it's just going to be right there in your calendar. But there are a couple different ways to do it. So I wanted to kind of just introduce that to you for the first week, just so that you could kind of see how that was. So hopefully these tutorials this week were helpful in getting you familiar with Canvas. Probably across the board was helpful with other classes that you have, since we're all using Canvas. And once again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me during those office hours that will be posted on the main page, or any other questions that you may have. We can always set up a time for you to be able to have a Google Meet with me, or once again, you can always contact me through inbox right here, however you kind of feel comfortable to want to get things started. So that was how to take a quiz. Hopefully this was helpful.